Hello, boys and girls. Pearlo Wisdom here from Bepow Picks. And I know this is not my normal time to go live, and everybody in the land is all aflutter trying to cancel everything to make sure they can see the pics of Frolic. But I had to do it. It's Valentine's Day. I was just really busy today. I didn't even know if I was going to go live. But I thought, you know what, let's do it. It's going to be short. We're going to quickly look at our games from last night, see what we hit, what we didn't hit, and all of those sort of things like that. And then I'm going to quickly run through my leans and stuff like that. I'm sort of doing this to help myself with my finalization of my picks that I want to do. Let me get you guys up here so I can see you if anybody does happen to come in. Okay, so last night we had Monday. There we go. We had Senators versus Flames. Flames can kiss my ass. I've been making not bad money fading the Flames, and I decided, there's no way they're going to lose that game tomorrow, right? Third string goaltender in, although Sogard is a good third string goaltender. The spot was terrible for the Senators. No Sanderson, which is like almost their best defenseman this year. And the Flames are up 3-1. I didn't even watch them crumble. I thought it was over. And of course, the Flames do what the Flames do. They buckle and lose. So I lost quite a bit on that, although I did have the over. So that was good. Kind of brought me back a little bit. Coyotes versus Predators. I live bet the Predators and I did not get it, but it wasn't for much. Panthers helped me out a lot. I live bet the Panthers at plus money for 3 pearls. And in the second period, I took the draw plus 120 for 2 pearls. So that almost covered my Flames pick, which worked out really well. I liked the Panthers in the beginning. I also did like the under in that game, but I never did play it. I should have. I liked I really liked the Red Wings yesterday. I didn't put enough on it. I really did like it. I had more on the over, but we got the Red Wings and we got the over. I didn't like the Canucks coming off of a Eastern road trip at all. Especially with Dalia and net, I should have had more on the Wings. But hey, how you doing, Mercer? My fan, my only fan. um. Anyways, we got the Red Wings and we had the over. I'll go through this quick because I don't have all that much time. I had the Sabres and did not get it, but I did have the over. All told, I was up 1 unit yesterday. I managed to be up 1 unit yesterday, even though the Flames just about crushed me. If the Flames would have won, it would have been a pretty nice day. Pretty nice day. I am off the Flames. I'm not touching the Flames. That's it. You're done. I am betting against the Flames, and that is it. I think Sutter has this team too wound up. They don't like him. It's quite obvious. I thought he was going to start building them up here now. I don't know. They have no confidence. Markstrom doesn't seem to respond well to Sutter's uh, angry ways, or like old grumpy ways, I guess you would like to say it. I think that's what it is. And Vladar's not good enough, so I'll be fading them for a long time now. Yeah, they're holding their sticks too tight. They're playing nervous, and that's on the coach. However, that being said, I mean, I wasn't heavy on the Flames this year at all. I didn't think I didn't think they were going to do well with after that trade. I certainly didn't think that Kadri and Huberto were ever going to be close to what they were before. So certainly not in Sutter's system. Anyways, Sutter's teams have been known to do this. After he won in LA, he wears on players quite fast. and he's where it seems like he's wore on them all already now. I have a feeling he's gonna hang her up after this, and they're gonna get another coach, and we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, those were my picks from yesterday. So let's look at the games today. Chicago versus Montreal. Montreal's on a heater right now. They beat some big teams. A lot of people are liking Chicago there. If I'm going to play a side, I would play Chicago money line. Why not? Plus 125. I would play Chicago money line. I haven't really looked too much into this game because I don't really like the game. But Chicago, I think this is the first game of a road trip, right? No, it's the second. Second game of a road trip. They've had, they went to Winnipeg. Now they go to Montreal. I mean, I suppose Chicago would definitely could win this game. I kind of lean the over. They're putting Stauber kid in, and his last game he didn't look all that great. He's not used to playing in the NHL. Montreal has been potting them pretty good. I could see Chicago coming out hard here because it's Montreal, and they got it's a legendary team. It feels like a pride game where, and then and it also feels like Montreal has, they beat the Islanders, they beat Edmonton, they get up for these big games, and now you got this lowly Chicago coming in, and I could see them not having the same intensity. Chicago getting up early, maybe Chicago money line first period, but it's hard to trust Chicago with anything with that lineup. It's just terrible. Yeah, you can look at it two ways. You can look at that, that they're coming off a high and they're feeling good about themselves, and they take out Chicago. Also, you can look at it as, young teams have a tendency to start feeling cocky about themselves, and they undervalue teams that come in. It's hard to get up for a Chicago right now. It's the worst team in the league. It's just, are you going to be able to get up for it? I don't like the game. I could see it going either way, really. But if I were to play anything here, I'd play the over. Over. I do think it could be a loosey goosey, back and forth type game. Maybe Chicago team total over 2.5. Even, but it's hard to justify that with their shooting stats and scoring stats and all that. Yeah, I had Montreal too. I had Montreal first period money line on that little perk. And did I have the over? Yeah, and I had the over. I had the over. I kind of like the over in this one too. In fact, I like a lot of overs in these. Carolina versus Washington. No Ovechkin. Washington losing to San Jose last game. I'm taking Carolina in regulation here, but honestly, there's something in me thinks that, play for Ovi. Kind of embarrassed that they lost to San Jose, maybe looking ahead to Carolina. But the thing is that Carolina also did not have a good game last game, their first game off of the break. And they are like, I don't know what the exact stats are, but they are killer coming off of a loss. So, yeah, you want to play for Ovi, but there's still no Ovi. The question marks in this game, of course, is Anderson did not look good. Is he gonna? He's probably gonna be in tonight. Darcy Kemper. Darcy Kemper, and they didn't say who it's going to be for Carolina. Still haven't said. This is the way I see it. I think both teams are going to be up for this game. Carolina is certainly not going to be happy with the loss. Brindamore is definitely not going to be happy that they weren't ready for that game. They're going to be ready for this game, and I would definitely think that they're going to be ready for this game. I also think Washington's going to be ready for this game. But if you look with no Ovechkin, if both of these teams are ready for this game, who are you going to like more, all things being said? I would say the Hurricanes. So I think you're getting the Hurricanes money line at minus 165. That's probably a good look. And then maybe throw some on there in regulation to even it up, right? That's the way I look at it in this game. Let's look at the lineup really quick. Like I said, I'm kind of rushing through this a little bit because I didn't have a chance to. Can you guys see everything all right? Yeah. Without Ovechkin, see, you got Connor Sheary. Connor Sheary team total over, by the way. I think I'm going to put that in. Sheary shots over. Sheary shoots a lot, and he's going to be playing top line. Sheary over 2.5 shots. I think you're getting like minus 110. I think I like that look. Minus 110. But Sheary, Kuznetsov, and Mantha, and then Milano, Backstrom, and Johansson, they're not used to playing with each other. I think they're going to have a tough time scoring here. I think Carolina wins this like 3-1, 4-1, something like that. Darcy Kemper's been playing okay, but man, lineup for lineup, you can eat these guys alive. Like lineup for lineup, this Carolina should absolutely ruin this team. Ruin them tonight. Who do they play after this? If they don't, I seriously question Carolina after this a little bit. I'm starting to bring up some questions for me for what the character of this team. The character, they need character. They need some fire. I just did an O'Reilly trade video, and Carolina was one of the teams. They need somebody like that, some veteran with fire that can take control and shake it up and get the energy going. Like they play a very good systematic type game, very very good, which is another reason why I think they'll win tonight. But yeah, that there's another level that comes when things start going the wrong way and stuff like that. I really think they need a strong veteran there. Yeah, they shoot like crazy, but they don't score, sort of like Calgary. And then they play Montreal, and then they have that outdoor game against the Capitals right after the Montreal game. Maybe watch out for that Montreal game, especially if they win this one. Montreal might be able to take that. They could be that could be a serious overlook. In Washington, it's basically the same thing, right? They play Florida and then play Carolina. But Washington needs it more. I don't know. I got to take Carolina. If Washington pulls it out, great. But I got to take Carolina. New Jersey versus Columbus. This is another one. New Jersey doesn't play well in Columbus historically, but I don't know if Columbus has ever been this bad. They're not playing Gavrikov tonight. You're holding them out for trade reasons. As a team, if you're holding out a player for trade reasons, like, how does that make you feel, right? Like, how do you go into this game and you're like, it's over? It's over. Everybody wants to play for their spots and all that, but I just can't see how you don't take New Jersey in regulation here, although I got it at a much better price than it is now. That's what I'm going to do. And, you know, I kind of like the over here too. I think New Jersey could absolutely slaughter them here. But Columbus will be playing for pride. They'll probably pot theirs. Let's look at history here. I should be looking at recent games a little more. I've been so busy today. Yeah, they lost 3-2 to Minnesota last game. Before that, it was 3-1. See, if you notice with New Jersey, they tend to play under with teams that are under teams. They tend to play over with teams that are over teams. They basically play the way you bring it. And Columbus, they just lost 4-3 to Toronto, 4-3 to Washington. They're primarily an over team. So I would say that New Jersey will probably, New Jersey can run and gun with Columbus here and kick their ass. They could do basically whatever they want, I would say. The question, I guess, like, look, when I do this, I always look at how can you question both sides. The letdown after, if they beat Minnesota, this could be a letdown, but losing to Minnesota, you know, makes it possible that, you know, they're not, this isn't going to be a letdown spot for them. And even if it is, they still beat Columbus. Like, even if they're not playing the best, if they got to wake up in the second and third, they probably still beat Columbus here. What am I looking for here? New Jersey. Second game on the road. 12th, 13th. They haven't played for 2 days. The only thing that really concerns me here is what have they been doing on this trip? What have they got after this? What do they have after this? What have they been doing since they lost to Minnesota? See, if they won against Minnesota, I could see them like taking a break, just sort of whatever. It's just Columbus, blah 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 blah. You know. Oh no. What am I looking at? They got St. Louis. I mean, that's not. And it's a fairly long road trip. They got St. Louis and then they have Pittsburgh. They lost to Minnesota. You want to lose your second one before you go to Minnesota and Pittsburgh? I think they'll be fairly dialed in for this game. I don't see them overlooking Columbus here. So I'm going to take New Jersey in regulation, and I'm probably going to look at the over there. Ottawa versus Islanders. I mean, you just have to take the Islanders. That Mondelisi or Mondelise is supposed to be in. Islanders are coming off a loss against Montreal, I believe. They need every point right now. They're not going to be. They can't be overlooking. The Sorokin will be in net. I mean, if they lose this, if the Islanders lose this game, if they're not prepared, because the only way the Islanders lose this game is if they're not prepared for this game. That's it. Simple as that. If they're not ready for this game because it's Ottawa and they think, after they already lost to Montreal, one of the bottom dwellers in the, now you're going to play another bottom dweller when you need every point and you don't come out in this game. If they lose this game, screw you. You're not making the playoffs, man. There's no way in God's green earth you lose this freaking game. No way. No way. I'm not a huge Islanders supporter. I don't think I didn't like the Horvat trade, and I don't think that was a smart move. I don't think anything they do is a smart move, really. You got you're old. They're old. They're not contenders even with Horvat in there. But the fact of the matter is, you do have Horvat. You do got more talent at this point, especially on the D line. And with goaltender like Sorokin in here, and you need every point, and you come out and lay an egg against freaking Ottawa, that would be disgusting. Is there a look-ahead possibility here? Yeah, okay, you got Pittsburgh next. So what? So what? You got to win this game, man. Like, you think you're going to come out lightly because you're thinking about Pittsburgh when you're not even barely in a playoff spot? Are they even like, you telling me there's not enough character in that room to get up and crush this game? Ottawa's on a back-to-back. They're feeling loose. I could see over 6 here because Ottawa is probably playing loose right now. They got nothing to lose. Yeah, I could see them potting a couple, but the Islanders should team total over here, and they should win and probably puck line. Like, they should be ready for this game. If they're ready for this game and ready to rock, they win this game. The only reason why they lose it is because they're not. And if they're not, then what are you even bothering with? Why are you even bothering? If you're not ready for this game, why the Horvat trade? Seriously, this is a huge game. Huge. The Horvat trade means shit. You're going to go now, then you're going to play Pittsburgh at home and Boston on the road. And you're not going to be ready. You're not going to make sure you get the 2 points here in case something goes awry in one of those two games. Then you don't care about making the playoffs. I'm sorry. You just don't. There's no way. There's no way you're ready to be a playoff team if you don't win this game, man. There's 60 points. They got Pittsburgh coming up. Yeah, okay. And they have a tough Boston game. They got to win that game against Pittsburgh. But if you beat the Islanders, if you beat Ottawa now, you move into a playoff spot and you put the pressure on Pittsburgh. If you don't, now the pressure's on you more. Yeah, of course. They better have an easier time. So I'm going to bank that they're up for this game and they give her. I also go to bpalpicks.com. I've got a player prop pick here. I've got a bunch of player prop picks. And I got some 2 5-unit picks at BPAL right now. 2 5-unit picks. This isn't one of them, but I have 2 5-unit picks. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You got to go find out. So yeah, I got to take the Islanders all day. Florida versus St. Louis. This is an interesting game because St. Louis kind of surprised me after that trade that they traded Tarasenko. I believe, wasn't that their first game off the? Let me check that out. Is that their first game? Pretty positive it was. Yeah, against Arizona. That was their first game after the break. And Arizona's not much of a team and they won. But they certainly could have mailed it in. but they actually played pretty hard. And they played to win that game. They played loose. I get the kind of feeling that uh, what now that it's happened, it was sort of a relief and let's go. And that might have been like a lot of the problem that they were having there is you got guys like O'Reilly and Tarasenko sitting there, and everybody's like sitting on edge, wondering what's going on. And once the trade happened, they sort of loosened up, and that's what kind of concerns me here. But that's also why I'm on the over in this game. San Jose versus Florida. Florida's an over team all day. They get shots for days. Binnington is not that great of a goaltender, let's face it, anymore. Florida's on a back-to-back. They need this win. At the very least, they may not win the game, but they should be playing hard. And when Florida plays hard, it's balls out offense. Their defense is pretty brutal. 7-3 to the over in the series, which I'm not really a trend better, but if the trend supports my pick, I'll even put a little more on it. So I would definitely like the over here. And although St. Louis did play well against Arizona, I think Florida needs this more. It's tough. I would lean Florida here. But here's the thing: when a team needs it more, playing against a team that's all loose and shit, sometimes, quite often the loose team will win the game because the team on the road, the team that needs the win, will play tight. And I could see it going either way here, but I definitely like the over. Seattle versus Winnipeg. Winnipeg's first game after the break, long layoff. Seattle's not had a great road trip. And I believe Winnipeg is putting in Riddick. So I would probably, Seattle's played 4 games in 6 nights, I believe, too. Which is not. But I noticed in these spots that the team that it's almost better to go with the team on 4 games in 6 nights whose legs have been moving and they got into the groove than it is to go with the team the team that has had a long layoff. However, I don't really like the side. Seattle doesn't really give me all that much. Seattle's been struggling, let's put it that way. And I'm not even really big on the total. If I had to play a total, I'd play over. I think Seattle comes out hard, and then Winnipeg could come back because I think it could take a while for the Jets to get their legs moving. But with all the games that I like on here, I don't want to play this one. I don't think I'm going to put anything on this. Just going to make sure here. I believe it is 4 games in 6 nights. If they would have lost against Philly, I probably would have been on Seattle here. But because they beat Philly, I'm a little less. Seattle. Oh, no, it's not only just 4 games in 6 nights. It's like 5 games in. Oh, no, I can't take Seattle here. No way. No way. I don't. That's a shitload of hockey. Now, that being said, when they went on that run, they played a ridiculous amount of hockey. They beat the Bruins in the 7th game of the road trip. Are they just getting their wheels going now? But I don't want to touch this game. They played the 12th. It's now the 14th. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 games in 8 nights on the road. And they just flew from Philly, had to cross the border to play Winnipeg. That's a rough stretch. That's a rough stretch. If Winnipeg's ready, they should win this game. If once they get the swamp legs going, if they get going, they should win that game. I'm not a huge Winnipeg supporter. They're my sell team for the second half. I think they've been surviving on a high shooting percentage. Their defense is not that great. With Rittich in net, you never know what you're going to get. He's been better this year, but I suppose talking like that, I would probably lean the over. Seattle comes out hard because they know they're probably going to die by the second or third. They pot one. Winnipeg gets their legs. Maybe pots one in the first. Both teams to score. And then, Seattle kind of just keeps on trying. And yeah, it's a tough game. Now the more I talk it out, I would probably lean Winnipeg here, about minus 137, coming off a long stretch where they haven't played, like 9 or 10 games, and you're putting Rittich in instead of Hellebuyck. Oh, tough one to cap. Boston versus Dallas. I don't know how you don't play the under here. A plus 100. Ottinger, Allmark. Dallas has been an under team all the shit. I don't know how you don't play that. You got to put a little bit on the under. Something, you never know with Boston and Dallas. They start getting chasing each other with goals though. It's hard not to take Boston at plus money, but I could definitely see Dallas. I could see a draw. I could see a draw here. I might put that in actually. I think plus 320 for a draw. I might put that in. Yeah, Brady Tkachuk shots are always good. Tampa Bay, but anyways, I don't know what to say. I'd say under, and it's the matchup with each other. Bruins are coming off a loss too, right? The Bruins certainly they own Dallas the last 10. 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games against Dallas. I mean, you might as well take the plus money and go Boston. Might as well. Well, I mean, why not? If you're gonna bet aside, you might as well take the plus money on the team that's only lost like 8 games all year. Why wouldn't you? It's not like Dallas is a bad team. Dallas could certainly win this game, but feels like kind of a coin flippy type game. So if you're getting plus money on Boston, you might as well take it. Two and eight, they trend to the under when they play each other too. Dallas is what? 3-1 to Tampa Bay, who's kind of been an over team. Minnesota 4-1, Anaheim 3-2, New Jersey 3-2. I mean, it's just unders, even against teams that are over teams. Lose or win, it's been under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight unders for Dallas. And you're going against probably the Vezina winner in Boston. One time against San Jose, which is like an extreme over team, they go under in their last 10 games. Boston, It was under against Washington, over against Toronto, under against Carolina. Again, when it's sort of like with New Jersey. If you want to play an over game, we'll play an over game. If you want to play an under game, we'll play an under game. Tampa Bay, Montreal was a pushy. Was that push or no? I was probably I don't know if that was a push or not. It should tell you here, but I guess it doesn't. Under San Jose, New York Rangers, New York Islanders. I guess the thing about taking Boston is that before the break, they lost 3 in a row. They won one against Toronto and then lost one against Washington, which was their first game after the break. This is the second game up after the break. I think they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. I'm pretty sure they're quite aware that they've only won one game in their last 7 games. Is that them just taking their foot off the pedal? Are they going to still take their foot off the pedal against Dallas? I mean, Dallas is a team that is a very good possibility that if they were to make the finals, they're going to play Dallas. So I think Boston's going to be pretty set, pretty ready to play this game against Dallas. You could even go as far as to say that they might have been looking ahead a little bit when they play Washington to this Dallas game. So I would lean Boston just because of the plus money. And then I got to take the under. I mean, if it goes over, it goes over. But when you see a team have like 9 games of the last 10 go under, and you're playing against a Vezina Trophy strong defensive team like Boston in a game, not only that, I would definitely look at the draw here because really both of these teams would be fine with just getting a point because they're from the East. It's an Eastern West and a Eastern and Western team. You know what I'm saying? It's an Eastern team versus a Western team is what I'm trying to spit out. Okay, so that's what I would do with that. Under 1.5 first period, but the juice is probably just cray-cray, I would think. Tampa Bay versus Colorado. I took this last night at plus 111. I took Tampa Bay. Now I find out the Makar is going to be in now. And, I mean, to tell you the honest truth, I like Tampa Bay less. But I already took it, so I'm going to roll with it. Colorado looked like they got their legs going their last game, and that's what concerns me here. And not only that, the whole revenge thing, if you're into that. Tampa Bay just destroyed them 5-0. But after beating Colorado, Tampa Bay goes into Dallas, one of the best home teams that there is, and beats them 3-1. That being said, they really didn't look great doing it. They probably could have lost that game. I would say Dallas outplayed them. And now they're going up against Colorado again, the team that beat them in the finals last year. And that's the thing to me. So if in your own building, you beat the Stanley Cup champions that beat you out of the finals, all right? Because you're highlighting that game, that you're going to win that game. You got to set your mark and put it in their minds that you can beat them. Now you're going home. To me, this would be even bigger to shove down their throats. This would be bigger. To beat them in their home building, the Stanley Cup champions, to remind them, to put some weakness in them, that if you do make it to the finals this year and Colorado is there, you're saying, okay, sure, last year You beat us in the finals after we won 2 cups in a row through a pandemic, shortened season, legs are done, tired. But remember us now. When you come back next time, don't think you're really all that much champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what I think they wanted. This is would be the to me this would be the real stamp game for Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay comes into Colorado's building right now, I think they are going to be balls out in this game. Balls out. I don't think there's no letdown here. And Tampa Bay, when they get in these spots, like it almost seems like they have these games. Hey, how you doing, Jazz? They have these games where they're like, okay, we're like they'll lose to San Jose or they'll lose to whatever. But these games, Vasilevsky will probably be just freaking unreal. They really want. I think they really, really, really want to shove this down their throats. I really do. The money now has come. The plus money now is on Colorado though, and Makar's going to be in. They're coming off a road trip where they finally beat Florida, and they've lost 3 of their last 5. It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a tight game, a close game. Should be fun. I got Tampa Bay at plus money though. That's what I took. As far as the total is concerned, what was it? Last one was 5-0. I mean, I can't see Colorado getting shut out again. I think Makar is playing apparently. I'll double check for you here, but I'm pretty sure he's playing. Oh no, he's not. Makar is not playing, according to Cap Friendly. He's not in. Yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay, man. This team is not the same without Makar. It's just not. It's just not. I think they're going to play hard and everything, but Nichushkin over shots. That's another one. I think if I remember correctly, over 2.5 shots. I don't do all the shot props. Like I probably should do more, but like the ice guys there, Ian Cameron, he's a big player prop guy, and I should do more. But I have a hard time just capping a lot of the time with my job and everything. So getting into player props and stuff can be difficult for me, anyways. But highly recommend you check out the Ice Guys, Ian Cameron. I'm not afraid to promoting other good cappers. That's, in fact, before I became a capper, I started to learn that if you're going to buy picks from people, watch out for the guys that won't promote anybody but themselves. Watch out for them because those guys are afraid, right? It's not like you're not going to find out what's out there, for the love of God, right? Those guys are afraid. Those are probably not like they're your average 55%, 56% hit cappers that don't want anybody out there. They usually have like all the glam, and you notice with my videos, I don't. It's just like a very simple thing because I'm not trying to suck you into anything. You stick around, watch my picks, you'll learn I'm a good capper. I'm a really good capper. And I'm not afraid to promoting other good cappers at all. Ian Cameron, amazing capper. Andrew McGinnis, those guys over there at Puck Time, awesome guys, great guys. But we're all really good. So there's plenty of money to go around. I highly recommend you check them all out. Okay, next. So what did I say here? Did I say anything after all of that? Yeah, I said Tampa Bay. I got them. And total, I would lean over. I just think that Colorado is going to want to pot a couple for sure. They got shut out last game. Are they going to get shut out again? I would lean over. I'm a little concerned about the pick. I don't have a lot on Tampa Bay because, it's the whole revenge spot. And you bring out a new plan against Tampa Bay. They're going to be like Colorado's going to be watching that. Tampa Bay switch things up probably against Colorado. Colorado's probably going to switch things up against Tampa Bay now to try to bring something that they're not expecting. So, should be one hell of a game. Pittsburgh versus San Jose. San Jose is just an over team all day. I just almost instantaneously take overs every time they play. At 6.5. I think San Jose's done well against Pittsburgh, and I don't really trust Pittsburgh right now. If they barely beat, what did they do here? They lost to LA 6-0. They beat Anaheim. Okay, so they beat Colorado. Lost terribly to LA. Like, they looked absolutely freaking horrible. So my thinking is, and San Jose's on a bit of a heater right now, won 3 of their last 4. They beat Washington in a really bad spot for Washington, though. They lost to Florida. Tampa Bay was also in a look-ahead spot. And they won against Pittsburgh last time they played. So let's put it this way. I'm taking Pittsburgh in regulation here. If Pittsburgh loses, this is one of those defining games. They need every point. They just got spanked by LA. They lost to San Jose already at home. If you don't have the character to come out and win this game tonight, bye-bye. They are done. Done. Hegel will score. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Hurdle and Meyer to score. Yeah, okay. Nothing wrong with those. Probably Carlson, to get over a point or something like that. Like, you got DeSmith in net. I didn't talk about that. DeSmith is in net, right? So, San Jose will score. Almost for sure. Smith blows his absolute ass this year. He's terrible. And that's part of the reason why they're having this problem. And it almost makes me. That was the other thing I wanted to bring up is San Jose has been historically terrible coming off of Eastern road trips. Terrible coming off of Eastern road trips. Oh, and Aaron Dell is going to be in net. If that ain't an over, I don't know what the hell. Like, I might even drop a couple more on there. If that isn't an over, you got me. You got and if Pittsburgh doesn't win that game, you got just as bad of a goaltender on the other side. Like, just give up, man. Seriously, sell everything. If you don't win this game, Pittsburgh, sell off and just forget about it. She's done. That's how big I am on this. There is no way that Pittsburgh can lose this game. No way. There's no excuse. There's no such thing as a look ahead. To me, this is Pittsburgh's season right here. Yeah, San Jose is a hardworking team. They're not going to lay down. They work hard. They have a terrible defense, but it's not from a lack of trying hard. They do. So the only way Pittsburgh should lose this game, with a Sharks team coming off an Eastern road trip, Who did they last play? Yeah, Washington. They flew from Washington to San Jose, which is like a couple hours. Like you had to go through time zones. They've been on the road for what, 4 or 5 games on an Eastern road trip. You picture this as a player. Is Jari in? Oh, Jari is playing. Okay. What? I just saw it right now. No, Casey DeSmith is confirmed. Jari's not playing. I don't care that you have Casey DeSmith in there. It's no excuse. Think about this. You come off a road trip. You do like 2 time zones. You've been on the road for a long time, and you get home. Now you got to take care of family stuff. The whole team disbands to their family for a day. You got all your family stuff to take care of, whatever that case may be. There's a whole bunch of stuff. You've been gone for a long time. You got to do shit. I don't care how much money you make. You got to do shit when you get home. And the energy changes because the team was bonding on the road and everything. You go on the plane. As soon as you get off that plane, it's like, I'm home, honey. Or whatever it is that you do. And you talk about other things other than hockey. Your mind's not on hockey anymore. In fact, you want to take your mind off of hockey for a little bit. Take a little brain break and stuff like that. Then you go back to the practice the next day. You're all chill. You have millions of dollars. So you're doing whatever you can do to relax with your millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? If you don't have a girlfriend, you probably do for a day at least. So I'm going to say the Penguins in regulation, and I'm going to say the over. I'd even consider Penguins team total over. No, they didn't score at all last game. Had a horrible game. Is this the last game of a road trip too? I think this is the last game of the road trip. On a bad road trip. Let me just check that out before I hightail it out of here and have a shower and go pick up the wife. No, they have one more game after this. If it was the last game of the road trip, then I would really be concerned. And you could say, well, they're looking ahead to the Islanders. Pittsburgh can't afford to look ahead. They are like not in a playoff spot. In fact, since you're playing the Islanders after this, you better win this game. You better win this game. Because you play the Islanders and then you play it back to get back against New Jersey. If you don't win this game, you could lose the next two too. And then your season is done. They lose 3 in a row right now, it's all over. They're not going to be making the playoffs. End of story. So they're not. Yeah, it doesn't matter how crowded that is or whatever. You're still going through 2 hours of. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Crosby is going to be like livid after that game in LA. I just cannot see this Pittsburgh team not destroying San Jose tonight. I just cannot see it. If they don't, I'm telling you, man, like this is a season defining game. If they don't destroy San Jose tonight, if they are not up for this game, their season is over. And I think everybody in there knows it. Everybody in that room knows it. So if they don't win this game, it's because their I don't give a fuck meter is already way up. Like they already don't give a shit. If they don't win this game, that means that they already knew that they didn't have it this year. That there's no way they could do it this year. if they don't win this game. Is that possible that that's the case? Yes, but I'm not going to bank on that, and we'll find out tomorrow if what it is, either one of those. But I'll tell you what, if they lose this game, they're not beating the Islanders and they're not beating New Jersey because their I don't give a fuck meter is already on. It's over. It's all done. All right, that's my full 42. Thanks for listening, all that listened, and have a great day. I got to go pick up the little lady and do some Valentine's stuff. Right? Right. Hopefully you're all having a great Valentine's Day yourself if you're having it. If you don't have a Valentine's, oh, well, then that's sorry. Okay, bye.